Beyond the Hype, a fashion lifestyle tech podcast. Presented by Stephanie Williams and Greg Lewis.
All right, so get this. You want to know what Meta's up to, right? Like, what's their big plan for the future of wearables?
Oh yeah, their ambitions are huge.
Well, in this deep dive,
Absolutely.
we're going to look at two of their biggest projects,
Okay.
the Meta Quest 3 and those Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting is one is like a full-on VR headset.
Yep.
The other one is trying to just blend into your everyday life. So it really begs the question of which one of these is going to be like the next iPhone or something like that.
Well, the interesting thing is that, Meta and Mark Zuckerberg especially really believe that we're all going to be spending a huge chunk of our time in the metaverse.
Okay.
Eventually, working, hanging out with friends, everything.
But, okay, real talk.
Yeah.
Have you ever worn a VR headset for a long time?
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty clunky.
Yeah, they're not quite the sleek future that we imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's where their strategy, I think, is really interesting.
Yeah.
They're kind of hedging their bets with this two-pronged approach.
Got it.
They're pushing what headsets can do with the Quest 3,
Okay.
but also testing the waters with those subtle smart glasses.
Okay, so let's dive into the Quest 3.
Sure.
The big buzzword I keep hearing is mixed reality,
Yeah.
and I don't quite get it.
So,
It's not just VR, right? It's about merging the real and virtual world.
exactly. So think of it this way.
Okay.
You put on the headset,
Uh-huh.
but instead of being in a completely virtual environment, you can see your actual room.
Okay.
But the Quest 3 uses color cameras
Yeah.
and a depth sensor called LiDAR to make what you see
Okay.
super detailed and have almost zero lag.
Okay, so it's not like those old VR headsets where
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all, computer generated.
Exactly.
You're actually seeing your surroundings.
You're seeing your surroundings, but they're overlaid with these digital elements.
Oh, wow.
So you can reach out and interact with virtual objects,
Okay.
but still grab your coffee cup
That's wild.
or high-five a friend.
So I've heard about Apple's Vision Pro headset
Yeah.
doing something similar.
Right.
Is the Quest 3 pass-through as good as that?
Well, the Vision Pro is top of the line in terms of seamlessness.
Yeah.
But also it's very expensive.
Sure.
The Quest 3's pass-through might not be quite as polished,
All right.
but it's a massive leap forward from previous models.
Yeah.
Significantly more affordable.
Okay, affordability is key.
Yes,
What about comfort?
that's a good point.
Because if I'm going to spend hours in this thing,
Yes.
it better not feel like a brick on my face.
Well, Meta has been thinking about that.
Okay.
The Quest 3 has a redesigned strap
Uh-huh.
that distributes the weight better,
Okay.
so it's less front heavy.
Okay.
Plus, they've upgraded to higher resolution screens for each eye.
And I hear the hand tracking is way better, too.
It is.
Are we talking Minority Report levels of cool?
I mean, it's getting close.
Okay.
The new hand tracking lets you navigate menus,
Yeah.
scroll through stuff all with just your hands. It's super intuitive, especially for gaming.
Okay.
And honestly, it feels kind of magical when it works well.
But can you type on a virtual keyboard with it?
That's where things haven't quite caught up yet.
Okay.
You're still basically tapping on a virtual keyboard.
Right.
There's no physical feedback. So
Yeah.
it makes typing feel slow and awkward.
Okay.
It's definitely a challenge
Yeah.
to make these headsets feel like a natural extension of ourselves.
So gaming, obviously a big part of the Quest experience.
Of course.
What's powering this thing? What can it do?
So they packed a new Snapdragon chip into the Quest 3,
Okay.
which means smoother visuals, more complex games,
Nice.
a whole new level of immersion.
Like what?
Imagine playing Beat Saber
Yeah.
and having your movements be even more responsive,
Okay.
or diving into Super Hot
Uh-huh.
with even more realistic bullet time action.
I heard there's a really impressive golf game for the Quest 3.
Yes.
Like where you can practically feel the grass under your feet.
You're right.
Really?
That golf game is a great example of how they're using mixed reality
How?
to create these incredibly realistic experiences.
Okay. Color me intrigued.
Okay.
But let's switch gears now and talk about those Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses.
Sure.
These aren't about diving into virtual worlds, are they?
Not at all.
Okay.
The Ray-Bans are all about
Yeah.
discreetly integrating tech into your everyday life.
He's so like...
Yeah, think of it this way.
Okay.
You've got your classic Ray-Ban style,
Uh-huh.
but now you can record video, snap pics,
Oh, wow.
even talk to Meta's assistant,
Okay.
all hands free.
So like a super spy gadget.
Uh-huh. Right.
Okay, but seriously.
But seriously, the tech they've crammed into these glasses is impressive.
Yeah?
They've got a 12-megapixel camera,
Wow.
and there's a tiny LED light that lets people know you're recording.
Smart.
So no sneaky stuff.
Okay.
Plus, the audio is piped right into your ears.
Nice.
So you can listen to music or take calls.
Okay, now that's pretty slick.
Yeah.
I love the idea of listening to music without headphones.
Yeah. But how do these glasses actually work?
So these Ray-Bans actually use Meta's Llama 2 language model.
Llama 2.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know what that is.
It's basically their big AI brain.
Okay.
So it enables you to talk to the assistant,
Okay.
give it commands,
Yeah.
and get things done using just your voice.
So LMA 2 lets the glasses understand what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and it makes the whole hands-free experience so seamless.
Okay.
You can ask it to, like, send a text, check the weather,
Okay.
even control smart home devices,
Nice.
all without taking your phone out.
Okay, that is seriously cool.
Yeah.
But there has to be a downside.
Well, you're right. Every tech has a downside.
The battery life is not great.
Oh, really?
We're talking less than 2 hours of heavy use.
Wow. That's
They do include a charging case,
okay.
but it's still not ideal if you're planning on wearing them all day.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
Is that a problem with all smart glasses or just these ones?
It's a challenge across the board, unfortunately.
Okay.
Trying to pack all that tech into a small form factor
Yeah.
really impacts battery life.
So besides the battery,
Yeah.
anything else holding these Ray-Bans back?
Well, the functionality is still pretty limited
Okay.
compared to a smartphone.
Okay.
There's no screen on the glasses,
Right.
so you rely on your phone for a lot of the tasks.
So we've got the Quest 3, which is all about immersive, virtual, and mixed reality.
Right.
And these Ray-Bans, which are more about subtle tech integration into everyday life.
Exactly.
But Meta's not the only one doing this, right?
Oh no, it's a crowded field out there.
Who else is playing this game?
You've got Apple going all in on their high-end Vision Pro headset,
Okay.
which is more a direct competitor to the Quest 3. And then you've got companies like Snap,
Right.
who are focusing on augmented reality with their spectacles glasses.
So it's a wild west out there.
It is.
Now, everyone's doing something a little different.
Yeah, everyone's betting on wearables becoming a big deal.
But why should we even care about wearable?
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Wearables are gonna become commonplace.
You think so?
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Wow.
The question is, what form will they take and who will be the leader?
Right.
Just think about it.
Okay.
In 10 years, today's smartphones
Yeah.
might seem as outdated as flip phones.
Wow, that puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've explored these two very different paths that Meta is taking. The immersive Quest 3 and the more discreet Ray-Bans.
Right.
Which path leads to mass adoption?
That's $1 million question.
Maybe they'll merge into some crazy super device down the line.
Baby.
It's exciting.
It's super exciting.
So we've laid the groundwork. We've explored these devices.
We have.
We've gotten a taste of what Meta's cooking up.
Absolutely.
But there's still so much more to unpack.
There is.
So in part 2 of this deep dive,
Yeah.
we're going to step back
Okay.
and look at the bigger picture.
I'm excited.
We'll explore the potential impact of Meta's ambitions,
The good and the bad.
both the good and the bad,
Yeah.
and what it means for society.
Buckle up.
Yeah, things are about to get really interesting.
They are.
Beyond the Hype, a fashion lifestyle tech podcast.